Welcome to Positively Las Vegas, a look at the good things happening around the valley. I'm Colina Estrinos. For the next 30 minutes, we're going to share the latest stories that showcase the reasons why we love Las Vegas. That means the people, the businesses, and all the activities that make the valley a great place to live. We'll also share fun things to do in Las Vegas each week.
Well, scoring a great meal for a great price while also supporting Black-owned businesses. For the first time now ever, Black Restaurant Week is expanding to Las Vegas, and it starts today. And 13 Action News anchor Ross DiMattei now joins us live with what you need to know to enjoy some really good food, Ross.
That's right, Todd. This is essentially a free marketing campaign for these Black-owned restaurants, and it really just started today. And a lot of these restaurants, all they have to do to participate is to offer some sort of special deal over the next 9 days. Now, I talked to the founder of Black Restaurant Week, and she tells me that historically, Black restaurant owners have dealt with inequities when it comes to starting those restaurants. So she's really hoping that this campaign will give them just a little extra help during these tough times.
It's a crispy cauliflower spiced up with the shawarma spices. The sauce is a tahini sauce, which is very famous in the Middle Eastern food. It's based of sesame seed and lemon. It's acidic, it's nutty, it's really, really cool with some fresh salad on it. It's called salata baladi.
All right, who's hungry? For $14, you can enjoy this Egyptian masterpiece at Potts in Las Vegas, courtesy of chef and owner Iman Hagag, but only during Black Restaurant Week.
Full honesty, I cannot speak for the experience of Black restaurant owners or Black chefs in totality, but also my husband and my babies are African American, so just a little, I can relate. So I was honored when I got represented. Not to add that Egypt is in Africa.
Hagag says the pandemic has been hard on her business, but so is getting it off the ground, given her background as a first-generation female immigrant from Africa.
Hard time? The horrible time. This is really, really, really hard. Before we started, we had to like grassroots and ask family and friends to kind of support our dreams. But going to the bank without a whole history of mortgage and auto loan and all of those, and for an immigrant, for you to build this kind of portfolio for the bank is a pain.
Difficulty finding financial backing is a struggle many Black restaurant owners can relate to, and it's why Fallon Farrell started Black Restaurant Week in 2016.
A lot of times Black-owned restaurateurs are funding their restaurant from their personal savings, loans that have potentially higher rates, as well as personal credit cards. So when we really talk about cash flow and capital, they're already kind of starting really behind the curve a little bit.
Farrell has recruited some pretty powerful corporate sponsors. She's hoping that the free pub will help prop up some struggling restaurants in Las Vegas while connecting the community with the flavors of African and Caribbean cuisine.
Food is always a common connector of culture and people. And so that's really where this project speaks to. It's just a way for us to highlight our culture, and we're just doing that through food.
Now, you are going to have to act quickly if you want to take advantage of this deal. Black Restaurant Week only lasts until March 21st. And by my count, Potts was about one of 5 restaurants here in Las Vegas that's participating this year. And if you want to learn about all the different restaurants that are participating in the different deals, we're going to provide a link on our website at ktnv.com. Todd?
Yeah, Ross, so on that note, real quick, if other Black-owned restaurants are seeing this right now and want to get involved, what can they do about it?
Yeah, I'm really glad you asked me about that. The founder of Black Restaurant Week says that she's expanding as quickly as she possibly can, but it is a lot of work, so there's a lot of room for growth, and she's hoping to add as many restaurants in the near future as possible. I'll also provide some contact information if you want to reach out and participate. If you're a Black-owned restaurant, we'll put that up on our website again, ktnv.com. Todd, back to you.
Officially a year into the pandemic, and Fremont Street Experience is preparing for a big increase in visitors, pointing to a rebound for the Las Vegas tourism industry. The Fremont Street Experience is looking to hire Slotzilla ride operators, sales associates, custodians, security, and more. All of this to prepare for what they say will be a busy summer. They'll have a job fair later this month. A new report by the Nevada Resort Association shows the pandemic set the state's employment levels back a decade and caused $105 billion in losses. But with more people getting vaccinated and a decrease in the spread of COVID, the president of the association says those are all positive signs for the future of Las Vegas.
We believe that there's pent-up demand from both leisure and business travelers. So people want to return to Las Vegas, and there are certain experiences that are only offered here. And we are very encouraged that people's confidence to travel is increasing, and they're booking trips for later in the year.
A reminder, masks are required for all visitors while visiting Fremont Street, and only those 18 or older can visit after 9 p.m. That job fair will be held on March 25th. Links to apply will be on our website, ktnv.com. I'm Kelsey McFarland, 13 Action News.
Big sales equals big commissions. Home prices in Nevada, they are now setting new records as the supply continues to shrink. So that means that rare opportunities for you to get top dollar out of your home. And as reporter Austin Carter now explains, well, many people, some from other states even, are jumping right now at the chance to get their cut.
And since the start of the pandemic, the local housing market has more so been aligned with some of those national trends. But locally, those record prices may be giving folks a thought about turning a record paycheck for themselves.
Real estate has always kind of been a hobby for me. I spend the majority of my times on the weekends looking at open houses.
Gerald Kimball recently relocated to Las Vegas from Birmingham, Alabama due to work. And he couldn't help but notice what's been going on with the local real estate market.
Things are consistently rising here. It's an exciting time to be in the market here in Las Vegas.
Gerald just finished up training to get his real estate license at Key Realty School.
The inventory is really, really low. So fast as things go on the market, you have multiple offers. So it is definitely a seller's market.
Chief Operating Officer of the school, Mike Federwitz, says Gerald's story is a familiar one as of late.
I've been extremely busy, more than usual, just based on the fact that we've got a lot of people who want to come in from other states right now.
About 100 students come through Key Realty School to get licensed every month. According to Las Vegas Realtors, in February, the median home price for single-family homes in southern Nevada was $355,000. Now, this breaks an all-time record set last November, and since then, it's remained unchanged until now. And despite the pandemic, it's just over a 12% increase from February of last year.
They're never shy in telling me their reasons for coming to the state of Nevada, but I do think property values have a little bit to do with that.
And Las Vegas Realtors also reports that the number of homes available for sale is below the 6-month supply of what's considered a balanced market. Now, that makes things a little bit better for those who are trying to sell, but makes things more competitive for sales agents. I'm Austin Carter, 13 Action News.
Welcome back to Positively Las Vegas. For more details on any of the stories you're watching today, visit our website, ktv.com/positivelylv.
This used to be the Showboat Hotel and now is the Showboat Park Apartments, and a minority-owned complex in an Hispanic part of town. Now today they have their grand opening, but some families already had a head start. Alexis Bernal and his parents moved to the Showboat Park apartment complex 2 weeks ago, and while today is windy and cold, they wanted to use the soccer field to play together. The Bernals love the way their apartment looks.
The kitchen and the type of material the kitchen has, and I also like how the bathrooms look like and the living room because it has a lot of space, and I like it here more than where we used to live. They used to steal a lot of things, and it feels more comfortable here.
Affordable housing has been a main goal for many Hispanic families like the Bernals. Construction of other units continues. By this summer, almost 350 of them will be rented out with access to the pool, gym, yoga studio, and more. This development will also have 3 restaurants, a car wash, and a grocery store, bringing the sense of community to this historical part of town.
Growing up here, we all went to the Showboat. When we were teens, we played, we went to the bowling alleys, and we would bring our out-of-towners as one of the local casinos. It was a staple back in our days.
The whole idea was trying to figure out how we can redevelop this area. It just was sitting empty for, 15 years. This is a combination of a lot of people, and we just felt like for the price point that they needed to be done, and it could be done, and it was challenging for us to keep it to a number we keep the rent, support that number, and that's what we did.
It started back before summer of 2020. At a time when the pandemic was felt harshly, the Latin Chamber of Commerce recognizes the risk developers took to build this, but the end result was worth it. Jobs were brought to our area.
Meaning they were able to take care of their families, and that's important to our community. It's also a celebration because not a lot of new projects have happened in this area, and we believe that this is the start of something really great. And then lastly, of course, affordable housing, but affordable housing with dignity.
The apartments are expected to be finished by summer, and the hope is that more developments like this one will be throughout the city to help minority families. Reporting from downtown, Astrid Mendez, 13 Action News.
I'm Austin Carter, and tonight we are hearing from some small businesses like the boutique right here behind me about how they were able to navigate through the COVID-19 pandemic and changes that they've made to their business moving forward. The beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic was harsh. Deaths, closures, uncertainty. Folks were trying to find a way to make it through without a guide.
I started really getting a lot more online sales and mostly masks.
When you wanted a night out on the town, you stopped by Melandra Boutique. But when the strip turned quiet, owner Nieve Melandra knew she had to find a solution.
You know, I was just getting orders from everywhere because there weren't very many masks available.
And nearly a year later, her store continues to thrive online, with one of the best sellers being face masks.
For now, I'm still ordering, keeping stocked, and getting new styles in.
Masks were just one way we all had to change our daily habits. We also had to start keeping our distance. As the state shut down, James Swanson's business, Screaming Images, faced a major hardship as they made the banners for big events that were no longer coming. Instead, Swanson's company started creating barriers for game tables and slot machines, a staple now in most casinos.
We did a lot of hotels, we did a lot of schools, we did a ton at Allegiant Stadium.
The barriers were a hit in Nevada and elsewhere. James originally had to furlough 25 employees and was left with only 10. Luckily, the production of the potentially life-saving barriers kept operations hopeful, and even better, jobs were saved.
I was able to bring them all back within 5 weeks, and that was the most important thing to me and the thing that made me the happiest.
And the small boutique owner right here behind me also tells me tonight that Facebook Lives that she started to showcase her outfit are still doing well. I'm Austin Carter, 13 Action News.
Well, lending a helping hand, a teenager in the foster care system had his bike stolen while he was working at a local pizza restaurant. So Above the Crust Pizza responded by holding a big fundraiser to get the teen a new bike. The owner says community members have donated 18 different bikes and more than $1,000. Above the Crust works closely with Ego Quest, giving jobs and life experience to kids in the foster system. They plan to use the money to buy more bikes for kids in need.
Well, turning 100 years young, today a local World War II veteran celebrated a huge birthday. Nicholas Long immigrated to the United States from Italy through Ellis Island with his family. He served 3 tours in Africa and Italy under General Patton during World War II. After the war, he built a career in the film and television industry as a union rep in Hollywood. And now he's lived here in Las Vegas for more than 30 years with his wife. We hear from him at 13 Action News, and we want to say a very, very happy birthday to Nicholas. Happy, happy birthday, 100 years young.
Welcome back to Positively Las Vegas. For more details on any of the stories you're watching today, visit our website, ktv.com/positivelylv.
Happy Women's History Month. In honor of the celebration, we are taking you inside of Madame Tussauds to look at past and present icons.
With over 100 wax figures inside Madame Tussauds Las Vegas, 50 are all women. 13 Action News went on a tour to find some of the most historic women of our time. And what better person to start with than the woman behind the museum?
We have Marie Tussaud. She's actually our founder of Madame Tussauds. She's our original waxwork artist, if you will. She actually started at a younger age, in the 1700s. She worked under another prominent wax artist and learned the trade from him, and then throughout her career she just became more and more popular and ended up opening up Madame Tussauds in London.
And this month, Madame Tussauds is also dedicated to highlighting female trailblazers in entertainment like Aaliyah, Beyonce, and Celine Dion.
Most iconic Las Vegas performers. She has one of the longest running shows at Caesar's Palace, and we're just so happy to call her a forever resident here at Madame Tussauds Las Vegas.
Madame Tussauds is officially back open to the public after closing due to COVID-19. You can see these wax figures plus more all year long.
Holly Berry. Ladies and gentlemen, happy Women's History Month to all the strong, ambitious, and hardworking women out there. Keep going. Alicia Batillo, 13 Action News.
Well, the Nevada History Museum here in Las Vegas is reopening later on this month. It'll feature new women's history themed exhibits that includes a display about educator and philanthropist Lily Fong. You can check out an exhibit as well on women's fight for voting rights, and you can also see showgirl costumes on display. The museum is on the Springs Preserve campus and tickets are on sale now. The museum opens up March 20th.
Well, it's time to head west once again. That's because the West Side Oasis is officially open for business. A ribbon cutting ceremony was held earlier today, and the new Black-owned restaurant and lounge is in the historic West Side. It's offering Southern comfort food with an Asian twist. For the owner, it was all about getting people to come back to the West Side.
We're opening it up so people can actually come back home again. A lot of people moved away from this community. And so we're just drawing them back out there in the outskirts and whatnot. And this is for everybody. It's an upscale place on this side of town.
And Las Vegas City Councilman Cedric Creer was there for the ribbon cutting today.
Welcome back to Positively Las Vegas. For more details on any of the stories you're watching today, visit our website, ktv.com/positivelylv. COVID-19 dropped the curtain on some of the biggest acts in Las Vegas, but a small group of performers took up the old motto, the show must go on.
13 Action News anchor Trisha Keene shows us some talented locals showed the flexibility to rebound during tough times.
Oh, it's amazing. It's great. It's really great for us to be on stage.
Roman Tomanoff is thrilled to be working again, even if it's on a smaller than usual scale. He's used to pulling off these types of acrobatics on a much larger stage.
And like we have automation and the winches like that would bring us up and down. Here, there's no up and down. It's just a static act.
But Roman says it brings him closer to the audience than ever before.
We're still close to them enough to see their reaction and see their excitement.
His new act is part of the all-new Apparel Show, happening every weekend on the Boa Bob stage at Town Square.
We have 6 artists, and they're all featured in their own particular act. And then we have ensemble acts as well.
Nicole Dunn is co-founder for the production company putting this all together. Before this, she was wardrobe supervisor at Zumanity. Nicole says after months of waiting for work to resume, she and others in the business decided it was time to act.
We realized with Zumanity closing and La Rev closing permanently that we either had to give up or we had to make opportunity.
That's exactly what they've done, even with COVID restrictions, which keep the audience to only 40 spectators. Nicole says the limits in the small cabaret-type space have ultimately ignited creativity.
What we thought might have been hindrances actually have turned into opportunities. It made everybody just reach and go past the boundaries a little bit more.
Nicole believes the intimate show is definitely connecting with audiences and hopes locals will take a chance and check it out.
We're hoping that they support us because really joy is about connection. And I think that that's what we've all been missing and been hungry for.
For 13 Action News, I'm Trisha Keene.
Well, marking another year young. In this week's Veterans Voice, we introduce you to a World War II veteran celebrating his 100th birthday and his advice for younger generations.
It's the 100th year cards, and I was given to understand that it's almost impossible to buy those anymore. There's not that many around.
Nicholas Long is celebrating a moment in time, a milestone many would like to achieve.
I'd like to go another 100 years, but I'm working on it.
10 decades of life filled with a happy marriage.
We just love each other, you know.
Loving kids.
Just to have a dad at 100 that is so sharp and so fit, it's an amazing thing.
And an optimistic outlook is what he says got him this far.
I've been very happy in my life. I've had some pretty bad times, but I think with the help of God and the positive thinking made life wonderful for me.
Nicholas and his family emigrated to the U.S. from Italy through Ellis Island. He was drafted in 1942. During World War II, he served 3 tours in Africa and Italy under General Patton. After the war, Nicholas went on to build a career in the TV and film industry as a union rep in Hollywood before calling Las Vegas home. So what's his secret? Well, he says it's working out and eating healthy. His advice for younger generations? Always focus on the good.
Think positive. Don't think negative. Too easy to be negative. Think positive because you can't correct what's happened in the past. Think the future is the best. That's always been my policy.
Great advice. Always think positive. Now, he's lived in Las Vegas now for more than 30 years with his wife, and he even has his own day. The mayor proclaimed March 15, 2021 as Nicholas Long Day. It's very exciting. Happy birthday to Nicholas. Now, if you have a veteran that you'd like us to feature, just email us at veteransvoice@ktnv.com.
It's Las Vegas's newest sports-obsessed bar. Tailgate Social invites you to come down and experience March Madness with their over 30 big screens inside Palace Station.
Just steps from the sports book, there's not a bad seat in the house. Watch a game or pick up a game of shuffleboard with a friend while you enjoy these signature cocktails. Order up tasty dishes like these during their happy hour daily from 5 to 7. And kick winter to the curb. This Saturday is the first day of spring, and the Bellagio Conservatory and Botanical Garden presents springtime celebrations around the world. Explore the spring flowers, cherry blossom trees, hummingbirds, and butterflies. Catch it in bloom now through May 22nd. And when comedy, magic, and mentalism combine, you get Vinny Grasso. His show, Totally Mental, is guaranteed to make you laugh out loud. Vinny's on stage Fridays through Sundays at Notoriety in downtown Las Vegas. For the full list, head to our website, ktmv.com. Have a great week.
Thanks for watching Positively Las Vegas on your favorite streaming device. If you missed any part of this week's program, just hit the back button on your remote and scroll down until you see Positively Las Vegas, and you'll find every story we aired in this episode. Stay tuned for more from 13 Action News right after the break, and check us out anytime here on KTNV Streaming. Las Vegas News on your time.